Yo, check this out. This is Wayne Wonder, representing for Warieka LTV. You see the vision, don't it? See the vision. Warieka LTV. Keep it locked.
No, I'm gonna tell you. We, us as bloggers, these are the issues that we need to address. You understand what I say? You see? Set the path for the youth them. Share, like, and subscribe and stay tuned to the channel because I don't know all this.
Okay, so what I'm going to try and do is just give you some charts and a couple of tables just to paint a little bit of a picture that you already know. Okay, so what this presentation is fundamentally designed to say is this. Africa, historically, sub-Saharan Africa, has been fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. Okay, but this is the opposition that they're fighting. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay, and that is a big price to pay. I assure you that the West is not going to allow that without a big fight. Okay, so this is what it's fundamentally about. What I want to show you is how these structures are operating. It's just 20 minutes, so we can't do very much, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. And why I keep the ideology part there is because we are part of the producers of ideology. At universities and academic institutions, we are complicit in this whole enterprise. Okay, so the job of many Western academics is to convince Africans they have to keep doing what they're doing. Okay, and to show them it's your fault that you're poor. It's not our fault. It's your fault that you're poor. You know, so this is what we do in academic institutions, and I want to show that as well. Let me just start. This is what it's basically about, so you know what it's about. But I want to just show you the extent to which Africa is specializing in the production of raw materials and basic agricultural goods. We know the basic forces that have caused this underdevelopment. We know it's colonization. I will not discuss that very much because my colleague speaker is going to go into some aspects of this. But I do want to discuss the global economic structures, the global financial institutions, and economic ideology, briefly, to give you a flavor of those. Let me start with this. You can't really see it so easily, but if those of you who are interested, you want the PowerPoint, I'm sure we can make it available to you. But the thing that you really need to see is the top line. Okay, and the extent of dependency is captured by this statistic at the top. Okay, and you compare it with all other income groups. And what you see is essentially in that one statistic how dependent sub-Saharan Africa is on raw material production. Okay, this is the very heart of what makes sub-Saharan Africa beat. Okay, here, just to have a look at one very important additional statistic, with all this export coming from sub-Saharan Africa, how much does sub-Saharan Africa account for in terms of global trade value? We know there are vast resources coming from there, but look at the bottom line in terms of global trade value. Look at that. 0.5%, 1975, 0.95% going down to 0.1. To 0.1. Meaning that with all these vast resources being produced, how much are they getting for it? Nothing. Nothing. This is a very significant piece of data. Then I just want to show you what has happened to sub-Saharan Africa, because what we know, and from all studies, no country ever develops without manufacturing. Okay, producing raw materials will not take you anywhere. Producing basic agricultural goods will not take you anywhere. And let's have a look at how much manufacturing activity takes place in sub-Saharan Africa. We can look over the last 15 odd years, 15, 20 years. And we see manufacturing has actually declined as a percentage of the total. This is percentages of total production in sub-Saharan Africa. How much of it is accounted for by manufacturing? So this figure here is 17% of the total. Most of the rest, when we talk of industry, it includes manufacturing, but the bulk of it is mining. Okay? Raw material extraction. This is the bulk of it. And here we see actually raw material extraction has stayed the same. What has caused industry to fall is the fall in manufacturing production. This is deliberate because we will never, as Western economists, as Western policymakers, we cannot afford to allow Africa to industrialize and start producing manufactures. Okay, so we will do everything to stop that. And I'm going to show you how we actually block that. It's obvious in certain ways, but it's less obvious in other ways. Now, we have actually seen periods of rapid growth in sub-Saharan Africa, misleading people, saying, oh, you know, we're now doing much better. And this has happened recently. Recently, I've had students come and tell me, we've done much better now. And you can see growth rates rose quite sharply in recent times. Now are starting to go again down. But if you look historically, the same thing happened earlier. Why? Because in these two periods, we had East Asian rapid industrialization processes. So in the earlier period, we had Japan and Korea and Taiwan. Okay, rapid growth, sucking in raw materials from Africa, driving up the prices, and then sub-Saharan African countries grew. Exporting raw materials, they grew. But after those countries finished industrialization, then sub-Saharan African growth rate again fell. Okay, but along comes China. Next wave. Okay, again, sub-Saharan African growth rises, but now China is going down. As many of you now know from the press, China is going down. But sub-Saharan Africa is going down even faster. And we're going to go back to where we were again, with very low prices of raw materials, very low growth rates, and again, the sorts of poverty that we saw once before. Because, bottom line, Sub-Saharan Africa is condemned to this role, just the supplier of raw materials, not a manufacturer.
Yes, I. Greetings on the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. You see, and all things that's good. See? Now, the piece of video that we just show a while ago, the speech with a man, I don't know his name. You see, you can go look back, follow up you see, you can look back for it, but the argument is there, and it's not a fake argument. You see, like somebody agree a reasoning in a university, or something like that. We don't know where we're going, or a TED Talk, call it that, you see. And how to keep Africa poor and in a servitude and why it's being done so. You know, it don't sound like an apology. It don't sound like it's like an awareness type of thing, but not for any change. You see, it's to maintain the status quo as far as I've gathered. That's the tone. That's the mood of the argument. You know, see it, and it's very sickening. You know, see it. You see, just them people are Russian roulette. Them a play with black people life. You see it. And if them are instituted in an education and thing like that, what we have to remember or what we have to be aware of is that it's trillions of dollars is being spent to maintain this agenda. You know, it's not a cheap enterprise. You see it. And we could take Africa out of it for a minute, which is not even acceptable or shouldn't even be possible. You see, not this soon. But we could look and say the efforts that will be placed then into us who lives within the society where I perpetrate them things upon Africa, seeing and who are learning and observing these strategies and things like that. Who should be able to learn, observe, learn these strategies and don't feel comfortable with it, and more than likely, as a human nature, intend to teach what black brother them cause enough man separate themselves from Africa. See, some man, it's not Pan-African thing, it's about your skin color. See? Yeah. See, so regardless of whether you want to be Pan-African and you want to be FBA or BA, or whatever you want to accredit for yourself with as black people. Bottom line is, if Africa is not a stable foundation for the rest of us as black people who exist in the world, we're not going to have no argument, no talk whatsoever, man. We are just punching bags. You see? And like I said, enough I want to know that. You see it? But we don't just live just not generationally. You see it? You exist now, your belly have to feed and your people them have to eat and we go through. As like I say, it's trillions of dollars, phenomenon sharp, yeah. It's being spent to maintain the status quo. See? And us in the West, yeah, are being schooled properly not to accept, not to even see these things happening to us, not to even recognize these things happening to us. Like I explained to you, say, when we in the West see a picture of Africa, we see a picture of somebody a beg. And we are black people, we are look something for ourselves too, as well. We don't want to see nobody, we are beg for to give them nothing. You see it? So them create that thing there in our emotion, in our psychology, that subliminal image there of Africa, whereby nothing is possible in Africa. It's dead as far as progression is concerned. You know, see it? Everything else are going everywhere. You see it? No possibilities in Africa. This is how it look. That's how desperation look. Who want to run go whisper everybody hungry, Rasta? You see it? You don't see it? So in order to maintain that scope there, that frame of mind, that thinking there, they must spend some serious money upon some of our leaders to keep us that deprived of what knowledge, deprived of the knowledge of what going really and truly in Africa. You know, see why Africa is being established the way it is being established, you know, and why the leaders only in Africa speak clear and perfect English and are the richest, wealthiest person. I mean, for them, riches is on par with any regular other real leader out there. You know, see, and like Tony Blair richer than some of them are even David Cameron richer than some of our African leaders. Them. Some African leaders them richer than some of most Western leaders in Rasta. You know, see, yeah, man. Vastly richer than some of them Western leaders. So some know some of them boys, they're some powerful boy in the cabal. It's not about race when it comes on to that group of people who puppetize the population of the earth and say, dance, puppet, dance. And we run up and down and a dance like either to any music with them play. You know? Organ player, monkeys. You know, see? You know, see? Them boy, they get paid for maintain the status quo. So that's Africa remain the feeding tree for the rest of the world. The bread basket for the rest of the world, while people who live in Africa die of hunger. According to all them perpetrated in the media as well. You know, see, war ravaged and famine, famish, and things like that. You know, see it. So, black people have substance in the West now have no intent. I see any possibilities in Africa or out of Africa. You see? So in none of them strategy. Then again, I don't feel like black people in the West. I don't feel like black people in the West themselves has got very much talk. You see, with for them substance. I don't think, even though they are just the ones who said I'm rich and thing like that, are who are purported to be rich, billionaires, and them way that them are just poster boys. You see, them are just position this up to make it look like, yeah, everything is even and equal and thing like that, and the rest of us who are struggling and can't find any form of way out are just worthless. You see, them not gonna like me. You see, like when a white man asks, what's your name? I say, boy. I say, no, I can't say that. I say, yeah, boy. Yeah, I know him can't say it. Just go walk home and think of that. You see, don't want you call me nothing else. Let's be real, man. You see, why me I go act like somebody belly full when you, because yours full. When me I go act like my belly full. No, Rasta, me hungry man, me still hungry man, I lie man, not because you attack say, oh, I've eaten, so he's eating, his belly is full as well. At them think that I go on with the racism and equality in the world, you know, I tell man, but yes, we are equally men. I am Mr. this and you are Mr. that. No, you're still bumbuckler master and I am boy. You see, deal with that. I go advent some change. You mad, me not stupid man, me not entertain your status quo and they are going like me, I eat that. I stroke your ego with this equality argument like me I eat that. None of that. What's your name? Boy. Yes, I just don't know then you go on your way. You know, see, it's straight talk. Help me. Help me if be Mr. this, Mr. that. Make me tell you how I go on with me, why me not feel like me a Mr. this, Mr. that. You know, see it and we take it from there. Other than that, it's boy. Straight. Well, out yeah. Go and be a slave master where you want. You live with your shame. Existing in your shame. Now I'm going to protect your shame by acting like I'm something else that I'm really not. You see, that's the only equality black people get. The Mr. title to him name. Nothing else. No man that keep that can't eat Rasta. You see it? I just don't address me. I'm gonna go through and do what we are doing. You see it? Yes, I. Amongst us, serious entities amongst us who are maintaining the divide. And we can't say a focus whereby we know say there is no black community, black organization of any substance in the Western world if we don't have a united Africa, a concerted force in Africa. You see, and anytime that happens, that's the beginning of the diminishment of all power across the world. All of them, boy, we are going to let them a world power and superpower and all of them things there. There and then, them fun done. Because the business of development of industry is being regulated. It's under regulation now. Manners and respect. You see it? And boy, if we come to the negotiation table and negotiate, you know, peacefully and nicely, reasonably. You see it? So them can't afford them thing there. So, time after time, furthermore, anytime a strong leader or an individual African leader come up from amongst the pack and decide to do him own thing on him own, very soon, you know, see, one of the most unhealthiest man, black man ever born, and everybody else in the world accept that with everything that's being set up and placed in front of us as obstacles, which sometimes has been way past murder. Everybody just accept that. You see where they are, them establish and admit, say, FBI and other government entities have a role to play in the murder of Malcolm X. You see, so they will admit these things after a while and still nothing's being done, no precaution is being taken, and we'll go back over and do the same thing again with them people here. You see it? And the leaders them will lead the people, them always lead them right back around in the same circle. We could just humble ourselves, man. You see it? And psychologically teach white people what they are and who we are. According to how the system set it and according to how the status quo have it, and stop maintaining the hypocrisy by claiming the simple mercies that they offer to you as a human being and say, yeah, we are going somewhere day by day, we're getting somewhere. It's nothing. Humanity is offered. Humanity is not offered. Humanity can't be offered by no man to no human. You know, see. Humanity, you're born with it as a human being, Rasta. No man is supposed to deny you that. Or drip feed it little by little and you accept that as growth or development or any farmer for anything. And so, no. You see it. So, I now play a hypocrite role. You know, guy. I a boy and you a sir. You see it. Yeah. Run with that. Feel good about that. I know you feel good about that. Why not? Why wouldn't you? You see it. If you allow your government and your country and your nation, if you do it, maintain the status quo for centuries, you see it, and admit it. Admittedly so, as well, time after time, and still you have done nothing or said anything. Acted in the interests of anybody other than yourself. So, you know, in the seed. In the seed. You know, this is, keeping Africa divided and the way it is currently only enhance and benefit your sick, twisted desires to stay superior. Only enhance white supremacy. Because there's no white supremacy if Africa is not divided or split up or ripped apart like it is today. None. White supremacy would be the day Africa unite, the day white supremacy ends. You know, see it? Yes, I. Don't know, you know. Share, like, and subscribe that one, yeah. You're the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Respect. Share, like, subscribe. Rastafari.